जय राधा माधवा कुंज विहारी। जय राधा माधवा कुंज विहारी। जय गोपी जनवल्लभा गिरिवरधारी। जय गोपी जनवल्लभा गिरिवरधारी। गोपी जनवल्लभा गिरिवरधारी। यशोदनन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जना। यशोदनन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जना। यशोदनन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जना। यशोदनन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जना। यमुना तीरा वनचारी। यमुना तीरा वनचारी। जय राधा माधवा कुंज विहारी। जय राधा माधवा कुंज विहारी। जय गोपी जनवल्लभा गिरिवरधारी। गोपी जनवल्लभा गिरिवरधारी। यशोदनन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जना। यशोदनन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जना। यशोदनन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जना। यशोदनन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यमुनतीरावनचारी यमुनतीरावनचारी जय राधा माधवा कुंज विहारी जय राधा माधवा कुंज विहारी हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय राधा वृंदावन चंद्र राधा वृंदावन चंद्र राधे जय राधे जय राधे जय राधे राधे श्री राधे जय वृंदावन धाम वृंदावन धाम वृंदावन धाम जय कृष्ण बलराम निताई गौरांग निताई गौरांग निताई गौरांग गौर हरि जय विश्वगुरु शिल प्रभुपदा विश्वगुरु शिल प्रभुपदा जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद
जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्रीमद इस डिवाइन ग्रेस अभय चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की इस्कॉन फाउंडर आचार्य बीवीटी फाउंडर आचार्य सेवर ऑफ द होल वर्ल्ड विश्व गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमा श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Creation, Chapter 3, Krishna is the source of all incarnation. Text number 44. Tatra kirtayataha vipra तत्र कीर्तयतो विप्रा विप्रा ऋषिः भूरि तेजसा विप्रर्षेर्भूरि तेजसः अहं च अध्यगमं तत्र अहं चाध्यगमं तत्र निविष्टस् तत् अनुग्रहात् निविष्टस्तद अनुग्रहात् सो अहम वह श्रावयिष्यामि सोहम वह श्रावयिष्यामि यथा आदितं यथामति यथाधीतं यथामति तत्र कीर्तयतो विप्रा विप्रर्षेर्भूरि तेजसा अहं चाद्यगमं तत्र निविष्टस्तद अनुग्रहात् सोहं वह श्रावयिष्यामि यथाधीतं यथामति तत्र कीर्तयतो विप्रा विप्रर्षेर्भूरि तेजसा अहं चाध्यगमं तत्र निविष्टस्तद अनुग्रहात् सोहं वह श्रावयिष्यामि यथाधीतं यथामति तत्र कीर्तयतो विप्रा प्रर्षेर्भूरि तेजसः अहं चाद्यगमं तत्र विप्रस्तदनुग्रहात् सोहं श्रावयिष्यामि यथाधीतं यथामति यत्र कीर्तयतो विप्रा विप्रर्षेर्भूरि तेजसः अहं चाद्यगमं तत्र निविष्टस्तदनुग्रहात् सोहं वैष्णामि यथाधीतं यथामति निविष्टस्तदनुग्रहात् सोहं श्रावयिष्यामि यथाधीतं यथामतिः तत्र कीर्तयतो विप्रा विप्रर्षेर्भूरि तेजसः ॐ चाद्यगमं तत्र निविष्टस्तदनुग्रहात् सोहं श्रावयिष्यामि यथाधीतं यथामतिः Synonyms tatra there kirtayataha while reciting vipraha O brahmanas viprarshe from the great brahmana rishi bhuri greatly tejasaha powerful aham I cha also adhyagamam could understand tatra in that meeting nivishtaha being perfectly attentive tad anugrahat by his mercy saha that very beginning that very thing aham I vaha unto you shravayishyami shall let you hear yatha adhitam yathamati as far as my realization. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation. O learned Brahmanas, when Shukdev Goswami recited Bhagavatam there in the presence of Emperor Parikshit, I heard him with rapt attention. and thus, by his mercy, I learned the Bhagavatam from that great and powerful sage. Now I shall try to make you hear the very same thing as I learned it from him and as I have realized it. Please repeat. O learned Brahmanas, when Shukadev Goswami recited Bhagavatam there in the presence of Emperor Parikshit, I heard him with rapt attention, and thus, by his mercy, I learned the Bhagavatam from that great and powerful sage. Now I shall try to make you hear the very same thing as I learned it from him and as I have realized it. Purport. One can certainly see directly the presence of Lord Sri Krishna in the pages of Bhagavatam if one has heard it from a self-realized great soul like Shukdev Goswami. One cannot, however, learn Bhagavatam from a bogus hired reciter whose aim of life is to earn some money out of some recitation and employ the earning in sex indulgence. No one can learn Srimad Bhagavatam who is associated with persons engaged in sex life. That is the secret of learning Bhagavatam. Nor can one learn Bhagavatam from one who interprets the text by his mundane scholarship. One has to learn Bhagavatam from the representative of Shukadev Goswami and no one else. If one at all wants to see Lord Sri Krishna in the pages. That is the process and there is no alternative. Suta Goswami is a bona fide representative of Shukadev Goswami because he wants to present the message which he received from great learned Brahmana. Shukadev Goswami presented Bhagavatam as he heard it from his great father, and so also Suta Goswami is presenting Bhagavatam as he had heard it from Shukadev Goswami. Simply hearing is not all. One must realize the text with proper attention. The word Nivishta means Suta Goswami drank the juice of Bhagavatam through his ears. That is the real process of receiving Bhagavatam. One should hear with rapt attention from the real person, and then he can at once realize the presence of Lord Krishna in every page. The secret of knowing Bhagavatam is mentioned here. No one can give rapt attention who is not pure in mind. No one can be pure in mind who is not pure in action. No one can be pure in action who is not pure in eating, sleeping, fearing and mating. But somehow or other, if someone hears with rapt attention from the right person, at the very beginning he can assuredly see Lord Sri Krishna in person in the pages of Bhagavatam. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purports of the first canto, third chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam entitled Krishna is the source of all incarnation. Om Ajnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Nitinamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktaranda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayatem girim yat kripatamaham vande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam. Hare Krishna. This is the last verse of the third chapter of the first canto, and the chapter itself is entitled Krishna is the source of all incarnation. And actually this is the end of one section of Bhagavatam also. in the sense that sages of Naimisharanya, headed by Shaunaka Rishi, they had asked 6 questions to Suta Goswami, that where the religion has taken shelter after the disappearance of Lord Sri Krishna, and then please tell us about the essence of all the scriptures, and what a person in Kali Yuga should do to realize God. Like this, the 6 questions they had asked. So all these 6 questions are answered in these 3 chapters. So this is the end of this portion or section of Srimad Bhagavatam. Now coming to this chapter, in this chapter various incarnation of Lord Sri Krishna, because one of the questions was why the Lord appears on this material, in this material world, and also please tell us about the various incarnations of Lord Sri Krishna. So various incarnations, around 20 or 22 incarnations were mentioned or explained in this chapter. Now it is towards the end, and here they are told, please tell us something which is beneficial for all the people of Kali Yuga. So what is beneficial for all the people of Kali Yuga is hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. So that Bhagavatam now I shall recite you. So till now also it's Bhagavatam only. Now Srimad Bhagavatam will be recited by Suta Goswami to the sages of Naimisharanya, as he had heard it from Shukdev Goswami. So in other words, Bhagavatam is not, yes, it is a scripture which contains 18,000 verses as we read it. Bhagavatam also means the glories of Lord, who is Lord Sri Krishna. So glories of Lord Sri Krishna can be explained in few verses or unlimited verses also, because Lord is unlimited, his glories are also unlimited. So therefore he is telling, now he will speak as he has heard from Shukdev Goswami. Now coming back to this verse, it is said here that Tatra Kirtayato Vipra. Now I shall recite to you what I heard it from that Vipra Rishi. Vipra Rishi is whom? It is Shukdev Goswami. And what is his quality? He is Bhuri Tejasa. He is greatly powerful. So there are many sages and rishis, but particularly Shukdev Goswami's quality is mentioned here, that he is Bhuri Tejasa. He is Viprarshe, means he is greatest of the rishis or brahmanas, and he is very powerful, greatly powerful also. How he is powerful? Because he himself has realized, previously it is mentioned about Shukdev Goswami that Yaswanubhavam Akhila Shrutisaramekam Adhyatma Nityam Tata Timirshitam Tamo Andham. So he is so powerful that he himself has realized when he took birth. Generally we take birth, we all take birth in ignorance. That means we don't know who we are. A child, a baby who is born, if you go and ask, who are you? It can't tell anything. A name is given to the baby by the parents. Right? So similarly, everything is taught to the baby. That means that baby is in ignorance. That ignorant child has to be given knowledge. Whereas Shukdev Goswami is not like that. He born as a liberated person, a person in complete knowledge of his own identity. Therefore, immediately after he took birth, in a very short time, he developed into a boy looking like 16-year-old person, and he left the house. Because he knew, if I am in house, I have to get entangled in household activities. And a liberated person is generally not interested in material activities, whether it is household activities or any other activity. So therefore, he left the home. So he is liberated from birth. We are all trying to become liberated, whereas Shukadeva Goswami is liberated from birth. That is one of his greatness. Another of his greatness is he has learned Bhagavatam from his father. Who is his father? His father is Vedavyas. Who is Vedavyas? He is the incarnation of Lord himself. He is the literary incarnation of the Lord. One of the incarnations which are mentioned in this chapter is Vedavyas himself. So Vedavyas himself is the incarnation of Lord, and he is the greatest of the Brahmana, and he has given all the Vedas and Vedic knowledge, Puranas, in literary form, because in Kali Yuga the memory power is very weak. So therefore it has to be given in written form so that we can read it again and again. Whereas in the previous yugas, if you hear once, the disciple hear once from the spiritual master, he can retain it in his memory throughout his life. That we cannot do now. Therefore, everything has to be given in writing, and this is done by the great sage Vedavyas. And he also is not that it is not that he wrote. He first realized it, then he wrote. It's mentioned in the same first canto of 7th chapter. He saw the Lord and Maya, who is behind him, and then Lord with all his energies. Then he realized the Lord. Then with that realized state, he compiled this Bhagavatam. So a realized devotee or the sage Vedavyas has compiled the Bhagavatam, and he taught it to his son Shukadeva Goswami. And after hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, Shukadeva Goswami realized it by his own personal experience. Okay, like for example, what is this realization? We can easily understand. Like we all know, we have all heard, we are not this body. Right? But we have not realized we are not this body. How do we know we are not realized? We can see our whole activities throughout the day. Is it in a realized state, in the realized consciousness we are acting, or still in ignorance and some realization? So sometimes it is mixed, sometimes it is completely in ignorance. For a short time maybe it will be, our activities will be in the state of realized action that I am not this body. Right? So similarly, through whole Bhagavatam, Shukadeva Goswami is not only has heard, he has realized it. So, and that Bhagavatam, when he recited in front of Parikshit Maharaj on the banks of Ganges, Parikshit Maharaj is a grandson of Arjun, and he comes in the family of Kurus. And then he was cursed by a Brahmana boy that Parikshit Maharaj will die because of a snake bite in 7 days. So he gave up all. He himself was another great devotee of the Lord from his childhood, and he renounced everything when he heard this news about the imminent death in 7 days. And then he sat on the banks of the Ganga river. And then all the great sages, all the Rajarshis, Viprarshis, Devarshis, all the great personalities who have realized God or on the path of realizing God. All these highly great personalities all assembled there to see, because Parikshit Maharaj himself is another great devotee of the Lord. How a great devotee of the Lord leaves this body, what is his consciousness, what does he do? So to see this and to be with this great devotee, because they all knew after this he is going back to Godhead. So they all want to be in the association of a pure devotee, they all come, and in that assembly Shukadeva Goswami also comes. Narad Muni, Vedavyas, everybody comes. There are great various rishis which will be mentioned later on. So Shukadeva Goswami comes, and Shukadeva Goswami is selected as the leader of the speaker. Or he tells Parikshit Maharaj, since you have a very short time left, Parikshit Maharaj asks, because I have a very short time left, please tell me what should I do, what should I hear. So then Shukadeva Goswami says that you should hear about the Lord because you have very short time. Okay, you have very short time, 7 days. So you must hear Srimad Bhagavatam. Of course, this is applicable for all of us, as we also don't know how long we are going to live. So then in that assembly, when Shukadeva Goswami is speaking or reciting Srimad Bhagavatam to Parikshit Maharaj, it's not only Parikshit Maharaj, there are 8 various sages. And among those sages, there was one sage, his name was Suta Goswami. So he also heard it. So when he heard it, then he came back to Naimisharanya and spoke. He repeated it? No. Here Suta Goswami is saying how he heard it first of all. Nivishtam tad anugrahat. I heard it because of the mercy of that personality. Who? Shukadeva Goswami. Why this is mercy? Anyway, Parikshit Maharaj is speaking. You go and sit there and you hear. What is the mercy it is involved? So mercy of Guru is involved because any realization in the spiritual matters happens because of the mercy of spiritual master. Yes, we have to do our duty of hearing with attention, with humility, and with attention and attention to the details, and being surrendered and trying to serve the spiritual master in menial ways or in any way possible. That's what Krishna also explains in Bhagavad Gita. Tad viddhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. You surrender unto him, render service unto him, and hear him and inquire from him. In this way one can realize the Lord. So now then by doing this we can realize the Lord? No. By doing this, spiritual master will be pleased. So tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti. Then he will give upadesha. He will give upadekshanti te jnanam. He will give the knowledge. He will give the knowledge is one thing, and then he will give the realization also. So a disciple realizes because of spiritual master's mercy. It's not that it is not a mechanical realization where just like anything you do in the material world, you take a book and read and you understand pretty much, and you don't understand, you ask some questions to the teachers and you realize, and after that there is no real relation between student and the teacher. It is not like that. Because why? It is nothing to do with matter. We can see in the conditioned stage, we can see only matter. We can only hear matter. We can only understand matter. We can only contemplate matter. Whereas this Bhagavatam, the subject matter of Srimad Bhagavatam is spirit and supreme spirit, and relation between spirit and supreme spirit, and service. How a spirit should render service to supreme spirit, or a living entity, how he should relate with and serve the Supreme Lord. So it has to be understood by the tad anugrahat, by his mercy, by Guru's mercy. So Guru's mercy comes to whom? One who is nivishta. Guru is speaking and everybody is hearing. But on whom speaking by the Guru itself is a mercy. But that mercy, how one can internalize and one himself can realize it, is by nivishta. Nivishta means what? Being perfectly attentive. We are all attentive, sometimes attentive, sometimes not attentive. But here Prabhupada is explaining being perfectly attentive. And coming to, this is in word to word meaning, Prabhupada is explaining it as being perfectly attentive. And here again in translation, Prabhupada is translating it as, I heard him with rapt attention, complete attention or rapt attention. In Srimad in Purport also, Prabhupada is using another word. Nivishta means Suta Goswami drank the juice of Bhagavatam through his ears. Drank the juice. When juice is given, we don't leave even one drop. We gulp it or we drink it, especially if it is tasty. So Srimad Bhagavatam is very tasty. So it is like nectar. It is mentioned in the beginning of the Bhagavatam itself. Pibata Bhagavatam Rasamalayam. So it is a reservoir of all auspiciousness and all the taste. Rasa means taste or mellows. So it is very tasty. It is like nectar. It is nectar. So how you can drink this nectar? This nectar of Bhagavatam you can drink through, not through your mouth, but through ears. So Suta Goswami drank the juice of Bhagavatam through his ears. So Nivishtam. So now he has heard it. He has, as far as possible, he has heard it with attention. Heard it like as if he is drinking nectar through his ears. So that same Bhagavatam, now Suta Goswami is saying, Soham Vaha Shravayishyami. Now I shall recite the same Bhagavatam to you. To whom? To the sages of Naimisharanya. Okay, so what he will speak? Yathaditam yathamatihi. As far as my realization is concerned, or as far as I have realized. So Prabhupada gives the example that nobody can realize the Lord completely. No devotee can realize the Lord completely. Lord also cannot understand the Lord completely. So Lord is so unlimited. So, but then why to understand it at all? Because we can never reach end. So why to start? Just like a road is there, you keep on going, and it never ends. So why to go at all? No. Huh? Yes. So the journey itself is so enjoying. So let us enjoy the journey. That is one aspect. Another aspect is this is the greatness of the Lord, right? If you finish everything, then what is left? Okay. Today I have finished all the realization of the Lord. Tomorrow onwards, what we will do? So, Lord is so great that it's not that Lord cannot understand our devotee. It is ever increasing. Just like some qualities of the Lord. Okay, now you count, this is the pastime, this is the quality of the Lord. Then you understand something. Then by the time you understand, Lord's qualities has increased, Lord's pastimes have increased, Lord's attributes have increased. So then again you count, again you try to understand, again it has increased. So devotees are trying to understand and Lord's qualities are keep on increasing, His qualities are increasing, His pastimes are increasing. So it is ever expanding. It is not that it is static. Then, so what to do? So how do we go to the end? We can't go to the end. Just like a bird, it has to fly in the sky, right? It has to fly in the sky. It need not reach the end of the sky to fly. Sky is wherever it can reach, it can fly, right? Because sky is so open. So, as far as the capacity of the bird is concerned, it can go as high. Some birds can go high only few feet, right? Then some birds can go few meters. There are some birds which can go few kilometers, right? Few kilometers it can go high and it can fly. Of course, there are birds which are mentioned in the 6th canto of Bhagavatam, that there are birds which can fly from one planet to another planet. And sometimes when they are flying from one planet to another planet, On the way they lay eggs and those legs hatch in the sky only. So the sky is so high that egg is hatching in the sky only. So those kinds of birds are also there. So as far as yathaditam yathamatihi, as far as our realization is concerned, as far as our capacity, we should realize the Lord, and we can recite, we can remember about the Lord and recite to others, so that others can also take benefit. Now coming to this purport, various places in the purport, at least 4 or 5 places, Srila Prabhupada is mentioning one thing. In the beginning line itself of the purport, one can certainly see directly the presence of Lord Krishna in the pages of Bhagavatam. We all have this question, when will I see the Lord? And here Prabhupada is directly saying that one can certainly see. It's not may see or probably or one can try to see. Prabhupada is not using all those words. Prabhupada is using the word one can certainly see. Means for sure one can see directly the presence of the Lord. The Lord is present where? In the pages of Bhagavatam. If one has heard it from the self-realized great soul like Shukdev Goswami. Of course, this is spoken by Shukdev Goswami only, and the purpose also is given by a realized soul, Srila Prabhupada, based on the commentaries of other realized acharyas. Spoken by realized soul Shukdev Goswami, compiled by realized soul Vedavyas, and comment is given by various acharyas who are also realized soul. Realized of what? Realized, they have realized Lord. Realized means what? They can see Lord at every moment. It is not that they are writing and then trying to see whether it is correct or not. If it is wrong, I will remove it. If it is right, I will. No, they are seeing and then writing. That means if a pastime of the Lord is mentioned or spoken, they are seeing the pastime and writing it. Not that they are imagining it and writing it, or they have heard it from somebody else and writing. No, they are seeing it and writing it. So, of course, Prabhupada tells, so this Srimad Bhagavatam we should not hear from a hired reciter, this professional reciters who make this Bhagavatam recitation, Bhagavad Saptaha, for collecting some money. They do it as a service and they charge some money, and then that because of that money they will go back to their material life and they engage in material life, in sex indulgence. So they are not the right persons from whom one should hear, nor from a person who is a scholarship, who is seeing Bhagavatam in a scholarly point of view. So it is very meticulously written, every word has various meanings. So let me literally understand, not for the sake of realizing it, just for increasing my scholarship and showing to the world that my understanding is more scholarly than any other. So that kind of mundane scholarship person also one should not hear. So then from whom one should hear Bhagavatam? One should hear from the representative of Shukdev Goswami and no one else. If one at all wants to see Lord Krishna in the pages. This is the process and there is no alternative. Okay. But somehow or other, if someone hears with rapt attention from the right person, so rapt attention from right source, then from the very beginning, one can assuredly see Lord Krishna in person in the pages of Bhagavatam. So now comes the question, are we seeing Sri Krishna in the Bhagavatam? Okay, now coming back to the seeing Krishna, or seeing any person. So, Before going into this, when Krishna entered the arena of Mathura in the where wrestling arena was there, it was arranged by Kamsa, and he wanted to kill Krishna. So he called Krishna and Balram. He told Akrura to go and bring Krishna and Balram, and Akrura went and brought Krishna and Balram. And then till that time Krishna was in Vrindavan only. He had not come to Mathura. So Mathura Vasis, including Kamsa, they had heard about Krishna. They had not seen Krishna. Right? So when Krishna is entering the arena, so everybody is seeing Krishna. So, but everybody is seeing Krishna in their own way. Some people are seeing, here are the two delicate young boys, because they were very young, 16-year-old at the time. So they were very young boys. And then this wrestling arena, all the bodybuilders or all the wrestlers, you can see there are huge bodies like a mountain with huge muscles and tall. And then in comparison to them, Krishna and Balram were very small and delicate. Right? And then some are seeing him as a friend. Oh, here some Vrindavan Vasis are also sitting. Oh, here our Krishna with whom we used to fight and we used to play. So that Krishna Balram have come. And some are seeing him as a very beautiful person. And some are seeing him as a very powerful person. And Kamsa is seeing him as a death personified. And there are devotees who are seeing Krishna, and there are sages who are seeing Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Now same person can be seen in different ways. Okay. To understand it further, a simple example Prabhupada gives. Let's say you have a car and you are driving it. Suddenly that car breaks down. Now you try to again start the car. It is not starting. So then you go and try to open the bonnet and see if there is anything, any wiring or anything has misplaced, or can I do something so that car will start again. You see the car, but you don't know, you don't have knowledge of how the car is working. You can drive, but you don't know how the car actually works. So you are seeing, you can't understand. Then what we do? We call a mechanic or engineer. So he will come, he will use his spanners or something, he will do something, and then it will start, car will start again, start working again. So as far as seeing is concerned, both the driver and the mechanic or the engineer, both are seeing. But one is seeing without knowledge and another person is seeing with knowledge. Right? So the regular driver, he does not know what is it. But a mechanic or a trained person, he can see what is the problem and how to correct it. So seeing is not equal to, in other words, seeing is not equal to understanding or realization. So now, coming back to, so when Prabhupada is saying one directly see the presence of Lord Krishna. So generally we see, when we say that tomorrow I will show you Lord Krishna, what we generally understand? I'm going to see a person. Right? So that person, when he comes, now I say this person, Krishna, is here and he is the Supreme Lord, God. Okay, good, God. Oh, God means powerful, something. We understand this much only, right? But that is not the complete understanding or the proper understanding of the Lord. This is what happens when we hear from unrealized soul, or one who is a professional reciter, or a person who is trying to be a scholar through Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita. So what happens? They are explaining something which is there in the text only. They are not explaining something else. Of course, they may add their understanding, that is different thing. But generally they explain what is there in the Bhagavatam only. But we can't realize Krishna by hearing them. Okay, now coming back to what is realizing Krishna. So one is seeing Krishna. Like we all see the deities of the Lord. Every day we see the deities of the Lord. And throughout the day, various hundreds and thousands of people also come and see the Lord. Many people come and see the Lord. Their seeing and our seeing, is there a difference? Yes, there is a difference. What is the difference? See, as far as Lord is concerned, Lord is same. But whereas our seeing is concerned, it is different. A person, or the first day when we came to temple without any knowledge, so we are seeing the Lord and we are seeing, okay, this deity is marble, this deity is made of metal, this deity is made of Kanjalochana or something. Okay, this is Krishna. This much only we understand. Whereas a realized person understand that this is the same Supreme Lord who is there in his own abode Vaikuntha. That same Lord is standing here. There is no difference between the Lord who is in Goloka Vrindavan and the Radha Vrindavan Chandra who is reciting here. How they can understand? They realize it through knowledge. Now, when we say, so in Bhagavatam we can see the Lord in every page. So what does it actually mean? It is not that we are going to, we read this one page and we are going to see the one form of Lord Krishna. It is not talking about that. A person is not limited to his form. Even a material person, even an illusory person. Like for example, if I say any person, you take this person means only this form is the person. No, that form is one of his attributes of that person. If any person has name, right? Every person has name. Every person has a form also. This is the limitation of that person? No. Every person has a quality, right? Like if I want to know about somebody, so what we ask, how is this person? Is he an angry person or is he a sober person? He's a sweet person or is he a very harsh person? Is he a strong person or is he a weak person? Is he a healthy person or is he an unhealthy person? So there are various attributes or qualities of a person through which we can understand. That's how we differentiate between this one person to another person, right? So this is another attribute of a person is qualities. Through qualities also we can know a person. Like we say, this politician is very bold. This politician is very weak. Right? We say these things. Right? So a person we can understand by his name. One person's name is different from another person. So like this: name, form, qualities and activities. What does he do? Right? Is he a politician? Is he a military person? Is he a businessman? Is he employed in some factory or some organization? Is he a devotee? Is he a non-devotee? Right? What does he do? What activities he does? That is also an attribute of that person. Then there is how much wealth or how much what opulences he has. Based on that also we can understand that person. Whether he is a rich person or a poor person, beautiful person or not beautiful person. Is he an intelligent person or not intelligent person? These are all the opulence of that person. And also, who are his friends? Who are his friends? Famously, there was one American president by the name John F. Kennedy. He had said this, that if you want me to know a person, okay, a stranger, you want me to know a person, I will ask you two things. You answer this, I will know that person. What is that? Which books he reads, what books he reads, and with whom he associates. Who are his friends? With whom he keeps his company. Who are his friends? So a man is known by the company he keeps, or by his friends, by his relatives, or by his the people who are surrounding him. So we can know, like a rich man's friends must be another rich man only, right? A sage, a renounced person, he has a friend, he must be a renounced person only, right? So like this. So, and where does he live? Dhama. Where does he live? So these are the attributes of a person by which we can understand a person, right? Therefore, those who did not know the power, strength of Krishna, qualities of Krishna, they are seeing the form and they are saying, oh, this form is very delicate. They don't know this delicate form of Krishna contains entire universe, all the Shaktis in the universe is there in that form, in the Krishna. Right? And somebody does not know that Lord is a well-wisher to everyone. He is saying, no, this person, they are seeing form plus power and they are saying, this person is a threat to me. I have some power, this person has more power, so he is my threat. You see? Because he does not know the quality of that person, who even though he is very powerful, he is also merciful. Oh, he is merciful to his friends. What about his enemies? His enemies also is merciful. Okay. So, all these things we can see in the pages of Bhagavatam. So, that's why it is said, Prabhupada is saying, that if one hears with rapt attention, what will happen? Every page, every shloka, every word is actually the description of Lord. Description of Lord, Lord's name, Lord's form, Lord's qualities, Lord's paraphernalia, Lord's activities, Lord's devotees, Lord's abode. So our understanding will be complete if we hear Bhagavatam. So, okay, but understanding is complete. What about realization? When your understanding is complete, that is called realization. Realization means what? That one has personally understood or seen in reality. That is called realization. Just like I say, there is a place where a unique tree is there. Okay. Now, first for us, a unique tree which gives any kind of fruit you ask. So first when we hear, that is a knowledge. Right? And then I will explain where the tree is situated. Then you hear it with rapt attention. So can you realize that? No. Then you have to go to that place and see that tree for yourself. Then that is called realization. Realization means you don't need knowledge or faith anymore. You are already seeing it in reality. So similarly, here it is mentioned, we all know that Lord He is there, He has left because this chapter itself says that Lord has left and He has gone back to His abode. Right? Now here it is mentioning that if you hear with rapt attention, you can realize the Lord. Lord, we all know that Lord is in the Golok Vrindavan. Now how we can realize Lord by reading Bhagavatam? Yes, we can realize because unlike other persons, just like there is one book, a person is there, a great person, maybe politician or some businessman or some movie actor. So there is a book written about that person. Now the person is different, a book is different. You read the book, you will know something about that person. After reading that person, now let's say where he was born, what he likes, what he does not like, who are his friends, what and all he has done in his life, everything you have read. And let's say that person is still living. Now you have complete knowledge of that person. You go to that person and say, I know everything about you. Then he says, oh, you read my book. But that person does not know you because he has not read a book about you. Right? So, so that means, okay, now we are reading Bhagavatam, we will know everything about Lord. What about Lord? Realization requires both the people come together, right? I have to realize you, I have to see you, and at the same time you have to see me. So now we are seeing the Lord through the pages of Bhagavatam, but what about the Lord? Is he seeing us? Is he knowing that we are trying to engage in his service, trying to understand him? The answer is yes, because Goloka eva nivasati akhilatma bhutaha. He is in Goloka and at the same time he is also in everybody's heart. So that Lord who is in everybody's heart, to realize him is through this Bhagavatam. So how we understand, so what is the difference between understanding ourselves and Lord? Let's read a little so that we can understand. First thing is, when we hear Bhagavatam or when we chant and when we chant his holy name, what happens? What happens is, it is mentioned by, this is commented by Srila Jiva Goswami, that a pure devotee who chants Hare Krishna mantra, so by chanting and hearing about the Lord, one has to come to the pure stage. We are now in contaminated stage and we are hearing about the Lord's name, pastimes, holy name, etc. But by hearing this, what happens? We become pure. And in that purified stage, when one hears, when chants Hare Krishna mantra, immediately all this Nama, Rupa, Guna, Leela, Parikara, Vaishishtya, simply by chanting name, you will feel the form of Krishna. Here is Krishna. Nama, Rupa, Guna. Here are the qualities. Oh, Krishna is so qualified. He is so kind. He is so magnanimous. So many qualities you will remember. Nama, Rupa, Guna, Leela. Then his pastimes. Oh, Krishna instructed Arjuna. Krishna played with his cowherd boys. Krishna had very nice talks with the gopis, with his mother Yashoda. These things will be remembered. That is factual perfection of chanting. So, by hearing, regularly reciting and hearing Bhagavatam, what happens? Or chanting and hearing Lord's name, these are the realizations one will get one after the other. And these realizations are non-different from the Lord. Any realization of the Lord is non-different from the Lord. So, first, let's say Nama. So, and another thing one will understand is how Lord is spiritual. We all know, we have heard a lot about chant the holy name, chant the holy name, chant the holy names of the Lord. Sometimes it looks like it is so much, too much. Okay, we have to chant the holy name of the Lord, but what will I realize by chanting the holy name of the Lord? Why? Because in the material world, all of us have a name. Why that name is utilized? To address that person, that's all. Right? You all know my name. What purpose you use my name? To address me. That's all. We don't use name for anything else. Whereas Lord's name, yes, it is to address the Lord. But when you address the Lord, when you chant the holy name of the Lord, is it only to address the Lord? Yes, that is one of the aspects. But is it limited to only that? No. There are various other things happens. What is that? Let's hear here. In the first chapter itself, in the 14th shloka, glories of holy name is mentioned. Holy name of Lord. What is that? Tannas. Apanna samsmritim ghoram yannama vivasho grinan tata sadyo vimuccheta yad bibheti swayam bhayam. Living beings who are entangled in the complicated meshes of birth and death can be freed immediately by even unconscious chanting the holy name of Krishna. Even if you unconsciously, with not very being careful or attentive, if you chant Krishna's name, one can be immediately freed from material entanglement. Why? Who is entangling us? Which is feared by fear personified. This fear personified is Yamaraj. Yamaraj is the one who gives us these material bodies based on our papa and punya in the material world. He himself is afraid of the Lord's holy name. Not Lord, Lord's holy name. If somebody is chanting the holy name, Yamaraja is afraid. Yamaraja is afraid, Yamadutas are also afraid. So if somebody is chanting, that person, the Yamadutas will not come near to that person. Whereas you chant my name, his name, other name, it will not happen. It will not happen. Is there an example of this? Yes, there is an example of this. Ajamila is the example, who chanted the name of Narayana, and Yamadutas who had come to capture him and take to Yamaloka, they could not capture him. Why? Because he chanted the name of Narayana. So the name of Narayana is so powerful. How it is so powerful? Why it is so powerful? These kinds of things we can learn from Srimad Bhagavatam. Another glory of name is what? Generally it is said, only a Brahmana can do yagna, dana, yagna, right? And deity worship, all these things. Only a Brahmana can do reading of the scriptures. So that means if you are not born in Brahmana family, you cannot do that. But here in Srimad Bhagavatam it is mentioned that aho bata swapacho ato gariyan. Even if somebody is swapacha, even if somebody is dog eater, means the Vedic civilization is such that Brahmana, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, Shudras. Below Shudras are these Chandalas. Even if a very lowest of the lowest person, Yah jivvagre vartate namatubhyam. With his tongue, using his tongue, he chants the holy name of the Lord. What happens? Tepus tapaste juhuhu shushnurarya. He becomes the highest. Arya means one who knows the progressive path of life, or one who is best of the human beings. Best of the human beings according to Vedic civilization, Brahmana. A Chandala will become Brahmana by what? By chanting the holy name. Brahmanuchur nama grunayati ete. So if he is chanting, it should be considered he is fit for chanting all the Vedic mantras. He has taken bath in all the holy rivers, and then he has gone to all the places of pilgrimage. That's why when we chant, these are the glories of Lord. How do we know what these are the glories? Because we only hear chant the holy name. Why we have to chant? What will happen? What will not happen? All these things we have to understand. How we can understand? We can see through, we can go through this Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam. So we can see so many lowest of the people have become pure devotees and gone back to Godhead just by chanting the holy name. So this is how we have to see the Lord. So this is the glory of the Lord. Then Rupa. Okay. So Krishna, we all know, we all have one Rupa, right? Who am I? This Rupa, only one form. Whereas Lord has multitude of forms, right? Advaitam Achyutam Anadim Ananta Rupam. And it is mentioned in this chapter only, 22 incarnations are mentioned. And at the end it is mentioned, Yete cha amsha kalha pumsa. All these are amsha, portions. Amsha kala. Kala means portion of the portion. There is of whom Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. So there is one form, one Lord Krishna. His one portion is Vishnu, Baladeva, Sankarshana, Pradyumna, and one portion of that portion. That means one person expands into many Vishnu forms. Those many Vishnu forms again expand into many other Vishnu forms. And one of those Vishnu forms expands into Jiva forms. So all the forms which we see in the material world and the spiritual world has come about from that one form. This is the greatness of that one form Krishna. How do we see all these things? Where do we see all these things? We see all these things in Srimad Bhagavatam. When Brahma stole all the cowherd boys and calves, then after some time he comes back and sees all the boys and cowherd boys and calves he has stolen from Krishna, they're all there only. Then he becomes bewildered. Then he goes back and sees, I left them there, they are there only. But who are these? These were all the expansion of Krishna. Krishna himself has expanded into all these forms. So then all these forms, and Brahma is seeing all these forms turn into cowherd boys and calves. They all turn themselves into Vishnu forms, and all these Vishnu forms are entering into Krishna and coming out of Krishna, entering into Krishna and coming out of Krishna. So this one form has expanded into many, many forms. And same in Ras Leela also. One Krishna is expanded into many forms. Same we can see in the Dwaraka also, where Krishna is transformed, expanded into 16,108 forms. And in fact, every form is Krishna's form. It means, in the sense, because of Krishna and Krishna's energies only, our form also is, in one sense, Krishna's form. In the sense that it has come about because of Krishna's energy. This form is not mine. So that one form, that original form, where do we see? How do we see? We can see in Bhagavatam. And then guna, qualities, Krishna's various qualities. One of his qualities is, there are 64 qualities mentioned by our great Acharya, Rupa Goswami. He has studied all the scriptures and mentioned 64 qualities. Again, 64 is not the end of the qualities. 64 primary qualities he has mentioned. One of the qualities what? He is partial to devotees. One of the qualities what? He is partial to devotees. He is merciful to everyone. How is he merciful to everyone? Generally, we are merciful to our own friends, relatives, and our well-wishers, and somebody comes to us for help. But Krishna is merciful to the demons who come to kill him. Because Krishna gives them salvation, mukti. For mukti, all the sages and yogis and munis, they are all trying very hard to become liberated. They have given up their home, they are staying in a solitary place, meditating upon the Lord, studying the scriptures, taking bath in the holy river, living a very simple and austere life. They are not getting so easily. Whereas a demon who comes to kill Krishna, Krishna kills him because nobody can kill Krishna. And that person, after Krishna is killed, because Krishna has touched him, he becomes liberated. This is the magnanimity of the Lord. So like that, various qualities of the Lord, His merciful nature, His all these things we can come to see, we can come to hear from Srimad Bhagavatam. This is how greatness of Lord, how do we see? We see through Bhagavatam. Various qualities will come about. In like one fruit vendor, she came and then tried to give fruit to Krishna, and Krishna, he brought some rice, because Krishna was very small. At that time barter system was there. So Nanda Maharaj and they all give rice to this fruit vendor, they will give the fruit. Krishna also thought, I will also give some rice and take some fruit. So Krishna was very tiny, small, so he held some rice from the house, and then by the time he came out of the house, he is running and all the rice is fallen down. Nothing was there. But still the fruit vendor gives some fruits to Krishna. Then the fruit vendor's basket, which was supposed to be full of fruits, suddenly turns into everything is gold. You see? So this is the magnanimity of Krishna. So he is a magnanimous person, he is a merciful person, he is partial to his devotees, he is a well-wisher of all living entities. He is a linguist. Like that, 64 qualities are there. So like that, we can come to know all this how? When we read Bhagavatam. We can see all these things through Bhagavatam. Then pastimes of Krishna. So pastimes of Krishna is also so very powerful, so very different. And it is mentioned by Krishna himself that all his activities and pastimes are divyam, transcendental. So what is the transcendental? If you hear about those pastimes from the right source and understand in reality, tattvataha, one will go back home, back to Godhead. Just by hearing. So if you have to associate with Krishna, we have to be with Krishna. Now Krishna is saying, you read my pastime, you are in my association. And when we leave this body, when this body becomes old, we have to leave this body, material body. So you leave this body, then what happens? Then we are transferred immediately where Krishna is performing his pastime. Right? So satam prasangam mama virya samvido. Anybody who hears mama virya of my qualities, my pastimes, in the association of satam, in the association of devotees, what happens? Samvido, mama virya samvido, bhavanti ritkarna rasayana katha, which are like nectar. Rasayana means for the ears. Because pastimes of Lord is also very nectarian. It is not some boring pastime. We have to hear, somehow we have to sit through it and hear it. Lord's pastime is also various, it's great. So, rasayana katha, then Tajjoshanad ashu apavargavartmani. Then immediately that person becomes apavargavartmani. He becomes liberated, he transcends. Then Shraddha Bhakti Ratir Anukramishyati. He will, all this Shraddha, Bhakti, then attraction to Lord, everything will follow. Then paraphernalia, even if you hear about Lord's, not even Lord's dress, Lord's flute, Lord's peacock feather, you hear about that also, one become liberated, or one can see the Lord by just like nowadays it's coming. Okay, one businessman is there, he is wearing how many watches, this watch is 1 crore, that watch is 5 crore, like that. So we are trying to know about that person. Similarly, even by the paraphernalia of the Lord, we can know the Lord, we can see the Lord. So for example, one example I'll give is flute. So as far as his flute is concerned, it is said that the vibration of this wonderful instrument was able to break the meditation of the great sages. And Krishna was thus challenging Cupid by advertising his transcendental glories all over the world. There are 3 kinds of flutes used by Krishna. One is called Venu, one is called Murali, second one is called Murali, and third one is called Vamshi. Venu is very small, not more than 6 inches long, with 6 holes for whistling. Murali is about 18 inches long with a hole at the end and 4 holes on the body of the flute. This kind of flute produces a very enchanting sound. The Vamshi flute is about 15 inches long with 9 holes on its body. Krishna used to play on these 3 flutes occasionally when they are needed. Krishna has a longer Vamshi which is called Mahananda or Sanmohini. When it is still longer, it is called Akarshini. When it is even longer, it is called Anandini. The Anandini flute is very pleasing to the cowherd boys and is technically called Vamshuli. These flutes were sometimes bedecked with jewels, sometimes they were made of marble, and sometimes of hollow bamboo. When the flute is made of jewels, it is called Sammohini. When made of gold, it is called Akarshini. See? So these, how do we know what this Lord has? So we can see all the Lords, like Lord wears Kaustuba jewel, or which kind of dress he wears. Because we have to finally realize Lord means see and understand him. Right? So we can understand him by all these means. And then associates of the Lord. So there are various associates of Lord, and what are their qualities? They are all liberated living entities. They are all liberated. So it is mentioned in the Srimad Bhagavatam by Shukdev Goswami in the 10th canto that when Krishna is playing with the cowherd boys, who are these cowherd boys? He is mentioning by saying that Itham satam brahma sukhanubhutya dasyam gatanam paradevatena maya shritanam naradarukena sakam vijahrur Krita Punya Punja. These cowherd boys have accumulated piety. They have done pious activities or devotional activities for many lives. Then they have accumulated this punya so that today they are able to play with Krishna. Generally children play together. So Krishna also is in the boyish form, and then some children are playing Gopa boys. So is this the same? No. These boys who are playing with Krishna, they have accumulated devotional credit or pious activities for many lives. Kruta Punya Punja. Punja means huge repository they have accumulated. Of what? Of pious activities, of devotional service. Then they have come in touch with Brahma Sukha they are getting, or Param Brahma Sukha. So this is how we can understand. And again about the Lord's Dhama also, how it is different from material Dham. The Dham, the abode is where this Dham will get destroyed, where the Dham of the Lord will not get destroyed. It is eternal, it is full of bliss. It contains, what is that? Desire trees, kalparukshas. It is the houses are made with chintamani's there. So that's where Lord lives. So all these things, how do we know? Because of Srimad Bhagavatam. So if you know all these things, what will happen? Okay, now we know everything. Let's say Krishna comes in front. Can we recognize him? Yes, if you know everything about the Lord, then you can recognize. No, Krishna does not come in the form of Krishna. Let's say he comes in the form of, he changes his color also. He changes his dress also. He comes as a, let's say a sannyasi. Can we understand him? Generally we cannot understand because we have seen Krishna in one form. Facial feature also changed. Everything is changed. Now how can you recognize Krishna? If you know everything about Krishna, you can realize Krishna. This is what happened when Rupa Goswami and his brother Anupama, they have heard about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is a great personality and he is a saint, he has taken sannyas, etc., etc. But when they come and see first time Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Prayagraj, Rupa Goswami is offering him obeisances. And he is offering obeisances and offering prayers also. What is he offering? That Krishnaya, Namo Mahavadanyaya, Krishna Prema Pradayate. Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvishe Namaha. He is saying, the sannyasi's name is Krishna Chaitanya. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So, Krishna Chaitanya is not Krishna Chaitanya sannyasi. He is Krishna himself. Why? How do you conclude that? He is saying, because he is very merciful. Yeah, there are many merciful people are there, many merciful saints are there. In fact, every saint goes out and preaches. Okay, what is so merciful about Chaitanya? Krishna Chaitanya sannyasi? Because Namo Mahavadanyaya is very merciful. Why? Krishna Prema Pradayate. He is giving Krishna Prema. Something which only Krishna can give, this sannyasi is giving. Only which Krishna can give, this sannyasi is giving. That means nobody else can give. That means this is Krishna himself who has come as a sannyasi, Krishna Chaitanya, and giving what? Krishna Prema, Krishna, the love of Krishna. Love of Krishna means what? Love of Krishna means what? He is giving an opportunity to directly be in touch with Krishna, directly relate to Krishna. I cannot make one person a relative of another person. The relation has to be between two persons. Third person cannot do anything. They can only help or they can initiate something. But relation happens between the mutual understanding of the first person and the second person only. And here is a person who is doing that. Except Krishna, nobody else can do that. Nobody else can give a relationship of Krishna to another person. So that means this is Krishna himself. Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvishena. So how Rupa Goswami understood? Because he has read and heard and realized Bhagavatam, and then when Krishna comes in another form also he is understanding. Even though he is not looking like Krishna, Krishna is blackish, he is golden form, still he is Krishna only. So this is how we understand. Similarly, those who are very intelligent in Kali Yuga, they will also worship this form of Krishna Chaitanya by Sankirtan movement. It is mentioned in the 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, what is that shloka? Krishna. Yagnai Sankirtanair Prayer Yajantihi Sumedasaha. Krishna Varnam Tvisha Krishnam Sango Pangastra Parshadam. Yagnai Sankirtanair Prayer Yajantihi Sumedasaha. So, if one is intelligent, one who says, I have understood Krishna, I have understood Bhagavatam, then what is the test? Is he worshipping Lord through Sankirtana? Lord's form in the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. If somebody is worshipping, Ye Krishna Bhaje Se Bada Chatur. Same thing is mentioned in the Bhagavatam also, that Yagnai Sankirtana Paya Yajantihi Sumedasa. Sumeda, Medha means intelligence. Sumeda means one who has refined intelligence, or refined intelligence is actually transcendental intelligence. That is the test, that if somebody has seen Krishna. Why somebody will worship Krishna unless he is able to see Krishna? Right? So if somebody is worshipping Krishna, that means he has realized Krishna. He is seeing Krishna, therefore worshipping. Like, I have to worship you. You have to be in front of me. Otherwise, what worship I can do? Right? So one has to have, that means Lord is present, therefore devotee is worshipping. So, and how Lord is present? The devotee has understood. That, which Lord himself states, Yatra Gayanti Mad Bhakta Tatra Tishtami Narada. I am not in Vaikuntha, I am not in the heart of the yogis, I am not anywhere. I am there, present there where my devotees are singing my glories. So this is the Lord's statement, this is the statement of Srimad Bhagavatam, this is the statement of Lord himself, and this is the statement of the pure devotees like Rupa Goswami. And one who follows all of them is very soon, either he has realized or very soon he will realize Krishna through the pages of Bhagavatam, through chanting of the holy name. Actually, Bhagavatam means chanting of the holy name, fame, form, qualities, glories of the Lord. So, beginning with the name of the Lord. Then we can realize God through Bhagavatam. We'll stop here. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada ki jai.